What's the latest with you? How are things going?
Yeah, I think it's going well. I've contracted with Candace and Candace,
Take my tasks.
take my task. Okay. Contracted with her and pretty cool process. Um, Candace and I talked about what it was that we needed, what we were looking for from the engagement, and had an interview last week with four different candidates, and was able to pick one out of the group that I felt was going to be better able to engage the suspects and prospects that I'm looking for. And yesterday we spent most of the afternoon going over the technology. How does she place appointments into my Calendly and access to all of my other documents? And we'll speak again today at 1 o'clock because it's 1 o'clock in the Philippines. So it's 1 o'clock here. And fortunately, it's easy to calculate that. You don't have to do the math. But I'm very impressed with the way the process works. Now we'll see what kind of success comes from it, but I think that it's going to work out very well.
What's your criteria?
Okay, the objective is for her to be Daisy, which is really a cute name. Is her task is to set up appointments either virtually or in person with my primary power partners. You have to be careful when you say that. And those would be estate planners, financial planners, financial investment guys, a couple of other categories. Now, what she's going to do is go through the areas that I'm looking for to have a penetration, and either by way of the access of tools that she has or by using my sales navigator on LinkedIn to secure appointments with the new power partners, the new referral partners.
Great. Let's see. Any questions for Jim?
Yeah, I'd like to know how it goes since we're kind of targeting the same people. If you have some success, I'd be interested to see how that goes for you.
Tom, everything's for sale.
Because Jim, are they primarily using Sales Navigator that you weren't using?
Yes.
And Candace, that VA has experience on Sales Navigator?
Yes, so she has extensive experience in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. She's done the particular candidate that he selected actually has been with Daft or now TMT for some time already with other clients. She's been successful and we're excited for her to be able to generate leads for Jim as well.
Great. All right. Since we got you on speaking, Candace, I mentioned that a lot of members have updates. What are your updates for us?
Yes, we have a pretty big update over at Daft. Daft Co. is still our main company, it's our parent company, but we have rebranded to Take My Tasks. You guys can find us on takemytasks.com. And mainly people are like, why, right? And the reason is when you think about Daft, you don't think about the first thing that comes to your mind is definitely not anything to do with virtual assistant services. It's more of a marketing rebrand to make our marketing a lot easier. When, let's say, Jim mentions, I have my VAs to take my tasks, or I've contracted a company to take my tasks. That sounds a lot more aligned with what it is that we do, which is provide virtual assistant services. Yeah, that's our biggest thing. It's still all the same owners, same staff. The only thing that's changed is our name and our branding.
Okay. Jim, you have anything to add to that, or did you have anything else to say? I think you're on mute. I wanted to ask Jim if there's anything else that you wanted to close out with saying. You're on mute.
No.
Okay. All right. Candace, did you get the referral I gave you for one of our clients who wants to do e-commerce?
Yes, definitely. I'm reaching out to him. Yes, I haven't gotten to him, but I most definitely will today.
Okay. You have to reach after 5 for him.
After 5, right. You mentioned after 5. I actually put an alarm because that's, I think, 8 my time.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely reach out to him. Oh, one other thing that I did want to say, I mentioned that the only thing that changed was our rebranding or our brand, the name, but we've also restructured our affiliate our affiliate program. So before, I know I had mentioned with everybody that before it was two payouts where it was $600 for a personal introduction and $400 if they use your link that we can provide for you if you want to be an affiliate, which everybody's more than welcome to be an affiliate. And if you now it's across the board $600 after the first 90 days. So there's no different payouts. We just thought it's a lot easier. So if anybody does know anybody that may be interested in virtual assistant services, definitely get with me and I can get you the agreement for our affiliate program and all that good stuff.
Does the link change that was set up originally?
Yes, it will, because we used to use a company called Impact, and unfortunately, Impact was not delivering what we wanted our affiliates to be able to see, which is track your leads, see where it's at, things like that. Impact didn't have that option. So we went ahead and have a new company now that we're setting up with. And so our affiliates that we already currently have, we will be reaching out to them as soon as this new platform is fully set up so we can walk everybody through on how to set it up. So we'll schedule with everyone soon.
Okay. Any questions for Candace?
I just want to make a comment. I like the name change. I mean, it's to the point, easy, and it's like non-threatening for like small businesses or individuals. I really like, because yeah, DAFCO, I always kind of, in my mind, I always kept thinking drafting. So, but yeah, I
That
like the
makes
change.
sense.
So
I have a
Thank you,
question.
thank
I have a
you.
question for
go ahead,
Candace.
Vince.
Candace, do you have those that work with you as assistants that know GoHighLevel CRM? Because that's something we purchased recently, and I definitely could need some help. Definitely need someone to help me, period. But if they have experience with GoHighLevel, I think they would be a big asset to me as a personal assistant and as a secondary office person, virtual, of
Yes.
course.
Yes, so we do come across, or a lot of our clients use GoHighLevel. So
Mhm.
yes, we are able to find candidates. I'll be honest, it's not as easy as finding candidates that are experienced with HubSpot, but nonetheless, many of our clients do have GoHighLevel, and we have provided A's for them that are experienced at GoHighLevel.
Good. That'll be our next conversation for sure. And I appreciate your
Perfect.
patience with me getting back to you, but we did get the system and now we're working on it and
Of course,
we're overwhelmed.
Mhm. Good.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Candace. Let's go over to Phil, because Phil, I don't think we ever really highlighted the fact that your company name has changed. There's been a lot of changes in your life and your business, right?
Yeah, and there's been another one since then, even.
Another baby?
That too. I'm having a son in October.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
congratulations.
Yeah, but then another company change as well. So I have two firms, and my law firm was Bauer and Sherkerlian Law. It's now Barth Calderone. I merged with Barth Calderone back in October of last year, and I'm a senior partner over there. And when the managing partner, as he says, gets hit by a bus or steps down, then I'll become the managing partner there. We've got, I think, 15 attorneys now. We just lost a couple of them, and we've got about 65 staff. We can help clients nationwide. We are California based. Our office is in Orange, but we operate under a limited exemption in the ABA, that because the type of asset protection law that we do is so specialized, only maybe 10 to 15 entire firms in the country do the type of asset protection planning that we do. So because of that, we're able to help people with asset protection nationwide. And so that's the law firm. My other firm is my CPA firm, where we do accounting functions, bookkeeping, things like that, prepare taxes. And it was called Rich and Company. But in the last month, I merged that with another firm, and we're now called Ledger Core Accounting. and so we're growing there. We've got now, I think we've got 8 employees now there doing taxes and bookkeeping and accounting functions. So really anything that you need that has to do with wealth or death or preserving your assets and protecting yourself, that's what we do. Updates is with the current administration and Congress, the estate tax exemption is not likely going down. And in fact, it may be eliminated. There's been talks about completely removing the estate tax. And so because of that, we're really going to try to help the uber high net worth individuals to avoid the estate tax, because it doesn't apply right now to the middle class at all, but we're going to help them. And so the big planning thing for the middle class and most of the people that you probably know is asset protection. If you're driving down the street in a BMW or Mercedes or Porsche or whatever, or you own a business, people look at you as if you're a billionaire. They don't know any different. They don't know that you may have a struggling business, that you don't have much money, but they see that you own a business and they think that you are what's wrong with society, and they're going to try to sue you. And so you need to make sure that your assets are protected. The US is by far the largest lawsuit country in the world. We have some 10 times the amount of lawsuits that the entire rest of the world has on any given year. And especially in Southern California, people are so sue happy. And if you can just put a little bit of asset protection in place, you can really save your assets. If you get in a car accident and your insurance doesn't cover it, you could lose your home, you could lose your savings accounts, your stock portfolio, you could lose your business if it's not set up properly. I mean, all of your assets, most all of your assets are exposed. I'm sure Marc can say more about this as well and probably back me up on it, but this is the thing right now that people need to be worried about in the middle class, is protecting your assets, because you're walking around with a target on your back if you drive a fancy car or you own a business.
Okay. Any questions for Phil? It's good to see you, Phil. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, tax season was rough.
So things settled down now that you merged, or you got more help with the tax side?
Yeah, things have settled down a lot. I'm actually driving down to California tomorrow to do the final touches on shutting down my Irvine office, and then I'm driving back on Friday. So I'm spending 2 days driving for one day in California. But then once that's done, then the new firm will be nice, because I don't have to be the managing partner anymore of the tax firm. Somebody else is going to be doing it. His name is Manuel. He's a great guy, and yeah, it's going to really take a lot off of my plate, because it was just too much being in a managing position in two different firms at once.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can get that tax part as a, kind of its own power partner entity.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
definitely.
Okay. Marc, your name was invoked. You want to give us the latest? How have you been?
Good, extremely busy. Jim tried to hook me up with somebody. I always appreciate your efforts, Jim. Actually having trouble allocating time to networking right now because I'm so busy. Yeah, a lot going on.
This
From all
was
angles.
expected,
I can't really say there's an industry that's suffering.
This was expected, wasn't it? That things get really busy once the leases come due. And
yeah. And then with interest rates now ticking up and a little bit, mortgage rates are ticking up, and then what's going to happen with the effects on tariffs over the next 6 months that might kick a couple people over the edge. Yeah, it's busy on all ends, and I can't really tell you there's a specific industry or set of individuals that are suffering. It's not necessarily unlike 2009, which was pretty much a real estate driven recession. This is kind of across the board. That's about it. Doing a lot of debtor creditor work. There's giving example of things that can happen. There was a company that was doing debt attorney work, a company called LPG. The guy's name was March, and he had tons of marketing firms out there who were feeding him business to do this collection work, and then they were getting paid. And they're called capping agreements, and they're actually legal if you go get licensed. But LPG did not get licensed. Then some guys ran off with the money, and LPG was put into a bankruptcy. And I'm bringing you the story because of how much work can be generated off of one bankruptcy case. So now there's a trustee in charge of this LPG bankruptcy case, and they have filed over 200 lawsuits against various marketing firms trying to recover the fees paid by LPG to these marketing firms. And the theory is because the agreement to pay the marketing firms was an illegal capping agreement, there was no contractual basis to get paid, and therefore these marketing firms are being sued for every penny they were paid by the bankrupt LPG. So here you have one bankruptcy case that's resulted in over 200 lawsuits, all of which are being prosecuted in the bankruptcy case. So this is how bankruptcy cases, you might say, oh, hey, there's just this one bankruptcy case. So these are the things that can happen in bankruptcy matters, and they can really get out of control. So
A couple of things, like I made some introductions of people I met. Like these introductions might come out of the blue for you. One with the SBDC or SBA kind of thing, person I met.
yes,
And I can't remember the other one, but as I go about my business or get in conversations with people, I'll definitely shoot introductions out, and then just so that you could put that lead to
Sure.
possible call or connection. I think
absolutely.
that was good.
Thank you, Alan.
Any-
I appreciate everyone's been good, really good here trying to send me work. But sometimes I'll get a referral and either they might have too much home equity, or they have too much money, and that's when they go to Phil to do some asset protection. And then, because in those situations when you do an asset protection, you will never file a bankruptcy, because you do not want the bankruptcy court getting into trying to unwind some asset protection. You'd much rather force creditors to spend their own money to do that, which ends up in creditor fatigue and settlements. So when I send a client to Phil, I probably never see that client back because they're going to get into asset protection and QPRT trust for their Phil's bailiwick. So, but not every referral ends up work for me, depending on the facts of their case.
Okay. You're kind of coming in and out, but I also wanted to mention, I had invited a person I met in New Mexico who's a financial advisor to this meeting. You know, one of the things that happens in business is that things don't always go right. So he's not here, I'm pretty sure, because we were trying to get his wife to be a property manager for my mom's Airbnb suite. And that deal got kind of blown up. So I don't think they're happy with us right now. So it's like, hopefully in the course of doing business, everybody's, things go well, but things don't always go well. And we'll work through it as best we can when they don't go well. But so he's not on the phone. I wanted to introduce him to, but I'll send a letter anyway. He said he wasn't feeling well, but
Okay.
I think he was pissed. So,
Maybe.
okay, maybe he's not feeling well. He can't get anybody sick, So that was that. Before we go to Finn, a lawyer that does go after people because of car accidents, Phil, we'll go to Tom DeLeo. Oh, we also have Vince here, so we got to get to him too. What's the latest, Tom? How are things going with you?
Things are going well. I'm keeping busy, which is good. The economy has unfortunately been good for my business. People are looking for money. Couple of the successes I've had in the last few months, more than maybe in the past, is if you belong to a church and you have a relationship with your pastor, I'd like an introduction. I've been brought into these churches recently where someone's become a widow or there's some situation, and they bring me in to solve a solution. And if I can be brought in a little earlier rather than where an emergency has really developed and we're trying to save that person's home, if I can get in a little earlier, sometimes I can really stave things off before they become a real tragedy. So if you're involved in your church, over the last 3 years, I've gotten involved a lot more with pastors and priests and how I can help their group. Also, I'm doing a lot with in-home care people. Often people don't plan for in-home care. Suddenly there's a tragedy, dad falls down the stairs, dad has a stroke, whatever, and the bills just triple. And everybody's running around trying to find out how to solve this problem. So those are groups that I work with. Oftentimes a reverse mortgage can be used to pay the bills. So those are the things I'm looking at. But business is good.
Good. Any questions for Tom?
I actually have a question, I guess more for Marc. What is the time frame if somebody's filing bankruptcy, if they've taken out a reverse mortgage and spent the money, what's the time frame that gets brought back in?
I don't know the answer to that, Phil, and I haven't seen it actually litigated.
Hmm.
And so, the issue with that really is that's a lien and a contract with the debtor. And so they're only going to be getting monthly payments, and that's all the trustee can attach. And then part of that's exempt. And so I think it's really a function of how much is the reverse mortgage? Is it protected by the homestead exemption, right? And then how much of the reverse mortgage might be above that homestead exemption? So very fact specific in relation to.
There's in a reverse mortgage, very, very few of the people actually take a monthly distribution. And the line of credit, the growing line of credit that is established, there's no money there. That's merely their availability to access whatever equity, irregardless of the value of the property. So, not being a lawyer, I don't know what you could go after. If you can go after their house, I guess, but there's no monthly income that they have to take. There's proceeds they have to take. There's just there's a theoretical access to a line of credit.
So that's kind of where I was getting is that's an asset protection strategy. You can put a reverse mortgage on your home, and the lien from the reverse mortgage company is going to be far, far higher than what you're actually borrowing. And so you have more than, it's about 700,000 in equity is the homestead exemption in California right now. If you have more than 700,000 in equity, you can put that reverse mortgage on there to protect the rest of your equity in the property.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was going to mention, Mark, we still have to do another additional podcast, a short one, kind of maybe something we didn't touch on or something you want to talk about. So when you get caught up or when we'll find some time to do it, we want to keep creating content for everybody. This is all good content. As a reminder, I'm recording this. If there's anything that's been said that people don't want on there, let me know because I can edit it out. But I think this recording the meeting helps me follow up with leads that are discussed so that we make sure that we're following up on those leads because I know we all get busy. Thanks, Tom. Let's go to Vince. Hey, Vince, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Others had mentioned it seemed to be a bit dicey there for at least 2 weeks. I thought it could be still that way for others, but I see a rebound, as you mentioned, on people holding on to their money, not wanting to spend it, very cost conscious. And that was a bit of a worry for me or a scare, but it seems to have been picking up lately in the last week, specifically. Quite a lot of calls coming in, a lot of after hours calls are coming in for plumbing and water damage and past referrals and people I've met at church. People mentioned church. From way back when I was at St. Joseph's, I got a call from a guy that I've known for years through Our Lady of Refuge. Now he's at St. Hedwig's, and he had water damage on his house that he neglected to do anything about. Apparently had a roof leak, didn't do anything about, mold concerns in the house, under the house. So he is lucky. He called me directly and I answered because I'm helping him out financially because they don't have a lot of money. But I can do that with certain people selectively. However, I do offer professional discounts and professional courtesy to other contractors and people in the field, property managers, property owners with multiple units, multiple doors. So I can work with people's budgets, but we do have a published price guide that we typically follow. We're not the run-of-the-mill low-end plumber by any means. We're more of a high-end, mid to high-end plumber. There are certainly higher than us, but our key to fame is being able to answer the phone. Like last night at 12 o'clock, where a woman called me who met me personally at the Apartment Owners Association trade show in LA. She goes, I can't believe I'm speaking to is this the CEO? Is this the founder? I said, yes, it is. She goes, I can't believe I saw you in person. Now I'm speaking to you again. It's like middle of the night. She didn't expect to get a hold of me. We were there in LA within 30 minutes of her call and solved her water heater problem that was leaking. So any kind of emergencies when it comes to mold, water, fire, we're there very quickly and able to help you navigate through insurance. If you happen to make an insurance claim before you ever speak to an insurance company, make sure you call me first and I'll guide you on what to say and what not to say. I'm not an attorney. I'm not practicing being a counselor, but I can certainly give you some good insight on less is more. So keep your mouth quiet. It'll keep you out of trouble. It'll keep you from getting your claim denied most often. And we can do some special things on our end to make that happen a little bit faster and easier for you as well.
Okay. Any questions for Vince?
I got a quick question, Vince. A lot of the loans that I do are FHA loans, and they need to meet certain appraisal guidelines. Certain repairs need to be done before I can even do the loan. If I we sort of guarantee the loan will fund, will you do the repairs and then get paid out of escrow?
I certainly hate to do that, Tom. If you could give me a personal guarantee on being paid, I would do that.
I never give personal guarantees on anything.
There you go. There you go. Sorry, I can't help you. We've been down that road too many times and we've been burnt and escrows fall out and things happen. As you know, real estate transactions are just that, transactions that may or may not happen. We can't get stuck holding the bag.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Okay. Any other questions for Vince? Okay. Thanks, Vince. Hang in there, Finn. I forgot. We got to let my wife, Debra, what's the latest with iTrust marketing? I always forget her.
Yeah, I always kind of
I see her all
feel
the time.
because everybody's business is so legal and all this, but Debra, iTrust Marketing, helping businesses promote their business. One way to see our work is you can see through Power Partners, our website, you know, how we do email, social media postings. When we go out and promote Power Partners and at an expo, we have our tent, we have our banners, we have our print material. So that's one way you could look at us helping you or helping a referral. And we're also doing Google ads for a client that's actually getting the phone ringing. Alan does the back end. I do the front end with the visual. And then we have a client. This is classic. We have a client that we've had for years that we've tried to get him to do all types of Google ads, all kinds of social media, other print materials. Well, now that he's selling his business and has a potential buyer, now he's doing it to make the phone ring. And he admitted he wished he would have had done this years ago. So don't wait till you sell the business or go out of business. Start it now to do your marketing. But like I say, you can see samples of our work on our website, itrustmarketing.com. Oh, also, there was a done deal between me and Charles and Kelly. So if you're on 7th Street going by Wilson High School, you'll see a big banner with CMC logo supporting their volleyball team. So I designed that for them and it stands out from all those banners. So just take people look out for it.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah.
So should we vent about Seal Beach Chamber?
Huh?
Should we mention Seal Beach Chamber?
The pop-ups?
You mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, we are members of the Seal Beach Chamber to promote, well, to get more power partners. And we have Jordan, who's not on the call, is from the chamber, and Finn, I met at the chamber. But I bring them up because they didn't know, I signed up at the chamber for power partners, not iTrust Marketing. So just by happenstance, I came in late to get a proposal, to give them a proposal to do their website. And we would have been perfect for doing the website. And for whatever reason, we didn't get it. So it was just a bummer because, you know, that we lost out, but we would have loved to do that website. So we can handle chamber websites. You know, we do Rancho Los Alamitos, which was a referral from Michael Bao. So when you think of people who need to redo or update their website, or, you know, think of us and we'll take care of them, especially Debra. She's the pro at this. She's a talent. So thanks, Debra. Any questions for Debra?
You know, also we're trying to promote AI or get some of our clients involved in AI. And it's been difficult because it's literally changing by the hour, but mostly for them getting information, all their information, and making it easier for them searching and things like that. But it's crazy. I mean, Johnny and Calvin, I don't know how they stay up with it.
Yeah, it's been an interesting process showing people AI for their business. So we're early in that process. We're still getting our arms around it, but
Isn't Candace also able to help others in the group with AI with her virtual assistants that probably have some good handle on that as well? Isn't that true, Candace?
Yes, that's correct. Excuse me. So we also do AI email marketing. Also, on top of that is, so we use a lot of, should I say, we use AI in-house. We've actually created something that's pretty awesome. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background or let you guys know what it is. One of the managers here created software that, and he's trained the AI on how to basically pair the job description. So, for instance, I'll use Jim as a reference. So, when we put together a job description of what he was looking for, we put that job description out as a ad, right? And then all of the applications that were submitted, if they didn't align with the resumes, it combs through all of the resumes and takes the time away. So instead of all of our employees going through all of the resumes on their own, it paired the absolute best resumes that align with his job description.
Awesome.
So, I mean, that we have that in-house. It has saved hundreds of hours because for one role that we post, we get hundreds of applications. So it's taken away so much, I guess, valuable time for us. So yeah, but we also do that as well. And then I know, Deborah, you mentioned that you do websites and stuff like that. So if you were to ever need somebody, if you're ever overwhelmed and you need people to help you, we have had people, VAs that help with like WordPress and things like that. So if that's something that you may need in the future or something, or anybody may need, that's something that we can also help with in addition.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
I have an ask for the professional attorneys in the group. I have an insurance company where I did a fire damage for Peterson Electric here on, I think it's 4th Street. And it was about a $52,000 bill, and they offered to pay me $40,000. So, and there was no good reason for it. It took 6 months to have them get back to me, and I've accrued over $4,000 interest on the money that's owed me from Peterson Electric, which obviously they're not planning on paying. So I need an attorney that would be able to help me with a lawsuit to go after the insurance company and the client if I have any problems getting paid. I do believe I'll do very well. I always have, but I think I might want some additional support if someone has knowledge and experience dealing with insurance and bad faith claims and stuff that collusion, because the price guide is owned by the insurance company as well that they're using, and they hired another guy to give a comparative bid. He never even went to the job site. He just used my bid and gave a really low bid on everything, on all my items, and that's about 20% discount off my bill, which I never negotiated a discount.
What's the amount of dispute? What's the amount of dispute, Vincent?
It's a $52,000 bill that I'm asking to be paid, and they offer to pay me 40, and no good reason as to why. And after 6 months, when they did finally reach out to me after 5 months, they had some items of concern and some stuff that the person said we didn't do. Have a ladder, for example, or be able to reach high ceilings. We showed them the ladders we have on the truck. We told them that we use poles, extension poles. That's why we didn't have any scaffolding. And we did everything that we billed for, and we guaranteed our work. There's no smoke order. We took care of everything beautifully, no question about our work. But now they're offering me 40,000 with no explanation other than we went to a comparable bid from someone else, and all they did is send the guy my bill because I called the guy and he says, "Oh, it's a shame. They can't expect you to get paid what Xactimate gives because we know Xactimate's at best the middle of the road pricing, if not low pricing." So, for example, I'm $97 an hour. They want to pay me $61 an hour for contents moving. We don't have a contents division. If we did, we would have subbed it out. They didn't have enough money for contents.
I mean, at that amount of a dispute, I would say go to small claims court.
Small claims is maximum 7,000.
Yeah, go to small.
Maximum
well,
7,000.
I mean, well, you're gonna go.
10,000.
So you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight over $5,000, and that you're gonna spend more than that on attorneys.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Way
go to
more than
court
that.
at all. I mean, I've been to small claims. I've won. I've gotten double what I asked for. The interest alone, I have a payment program going on right now with a realtor who couldn't come up with the money, even though he sold a $1.5 million home and still had no money. It was interesting. Now he's paying for it monthly because he couldn't make the payment, which is fine. I wouldn't want to go to court, even if it was for 40,000 or 50,000, because you're right. The attorney is the one that usually gets paid, and no one else really wins in a situation like that. And even if I win, I lose because I've lost a lot of time and money. So if attorney has experience dealing with this stuff, there might be like a letter or something that I can use their name to help them know that I'm going to be going into a lawsuit with the intention of going after the money they're not paying me, as well as going to the insurance commissioner to complain of bad faith and insurance fraud, because I think that State Farm needs to be held accountable.
So I actually looked, it looks like in
Yeah, I
LA,
don't do that kind of work. I was thinking,
I was gonna say in LA County, you can actually only do 6,250 if it's a business. It's 12,500 if you're an individual, but 6,250 as a business is the limit now.
And you can't lien a business either. So working for businesses and other contractors is always sketchy. Whereas with a homeowner, at least you have a home for the lien, which I've never had to execute a lien in 40 years. Knock on wood. Even
I know collections attorneys, but is it going to be worth you spending your money on that? I don't know.
Yeah. Typically, collection attorneys don't fare well either. I can usually negotiate half off the bill just like they can, and then they get half of that. So no, that's not a win-win either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just put it out there if you know of anybody or hear of anybody that would be good with dealing with insurance and insurance adjusters not paying their bills, which is ultimately the representative of the insurance company.
Okay.
But wait, it's an
All right.
insurance company that owes you the money?
Technically, the contract's with the business owner, Peterson Electric. They owe me the money, and my contract's with them, but State Farm doesn't honor contracts with the insured. They pay the money directly to the insured, not to me and to the mortgage company if the mortgage company is included. They're the only insurance company that doesn't pay the check to the contractor and the homeowner. They pay it directly to the homeowner, which is a conflict already with the contract I have, but there's nothing I can do about it.
I mean, I know a couple of insurance attorneys. I can put you in touch with them and see what they say.
That'd be great. Yeah, the person actually want.
Shoot me an email with your email address, and then I'll just reply with an introduction.
Okay, I'll actually put it in the chat here as well. And then what I was going to say, slipped my mind what I was going to say about the insurance. Oh, the person wants to take their deductible out of the money, the proceeds, their check is coming to me. They want to take their deductible. They paid me out of it as well. I said, no, you that's what your deductible is for. You're responsible paying someone. You paid me. If you were going to take it out of the bill, the insurance would take it out of the repair proceeds. They wouldn't take it out of the emergency services. And she has about 4,000 in interest penalties alone, just because it's been so long that they haven't done anything about it, which I'm willing to waive. That's just, a bargaining chip. But yeah, I'm kind of tired of the insurance people stepping on others.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that, Vince. These business deals that go bad or bad. So like Power Partners, a referral from another Power Partner will help you get through this, hopefully. So just to close out, yeah, I mentioned Arlene. She can't talk on this particular thing, but she's listening in. I asked her if she had anything to say, unless she didn't get my text, but if you have any home care or nursing placements that you know of, just contact me and then I'll work with Arlene in getting that placed. The other thing is Valerie is no longer in our network as a realtor. We don't have a limit on the number of people in our business, but we definitely want realtor/realtors in real estate. So if you know anybody that you want to refer to us, just reach out, let me know and I'll reach out to them. Finn, thanks for joining us again. We want you to see value, hopefully, in our network. This is the first time you got in touch with some of the attorneys. We're also looking to add more attorneys, family attorneys and whatnot. But just in general, because everybody should know you and vice versa, hopefully you consider joining us. Anything else to close out on? Anything?
Yes, I have a prospect for you. I'll send you the information. He's a up and coming electrician. So
Yeah.
He's a single operator electrician. He joined the Signal Hill Chamber recently. He took a liking to me. I met him at the chamber mixer at the library, and it's Karmic Electrical Services. And I believe he's strapped for cash, but this might be a good opportunity for him to network and join our group.
Right. And I want to thank you for the other referrals you gave. I think it was Janine, and we got some people are RSVP, they can't make it at the last minute. Like we probably should have had twice as many people on here, but I like the number that we have because it gives everybody a chance to talk. But there have been leads and referrals that we're talking with them, some from Vince, some from other people. And yeah, that electrician, I would love to talk with him, Vince. And we have a tier system now. As low as 250 they can get on, and then it goes up from there based on the services they want in Power Partners.
I'll refer him. I'm sure he'll take advantage of it.